Go live.
Hello,
Is it going?
people.
Hello.
I think that we're live. So
We are
sorry,
live. Sorry. Yeah.
sorry for those at home. I don't think anybody's waiting on us, but sorry for those of us at home. We started a bit late simply because we were just chatting too much. Surprise.
Yes.
So welcome to Parkour die Geschichte. These are chats with parkour people that either I know or I find the story interesting. Today we are with Ahmad Matar. Is that right?
Matar. Yeah, Matar.
Matar, um, who is a guy from Gaza. He's now in Sweden. We're about to talk all about that stuff. Ahmad, do you want to do a quick introduction of yourself about like what age you are, where you are at, what you are doing, and then we'll jump in about other stuff.
For sure. My name is Ahmad Matar. At 24 years old. I'm 25 in 1 month. So
Yes, 25 is a good age.
yeah, I'm 25 soon. I'm a parkour athlete, a professional, some people say, and yeah, I have been practicing parkour for more than like 14 years. Started when I was like around 9, and yeah, I was really later. Like I was really like started first with the martial arts, then jumped to parkour when I saw my friends who came to the place where I train martial arts, and then I
Yeah,
was like, whoa, this is something cool. Like they were like my heroes when I saw them. It was like a friend called Mohammed Jakbir and Abdullah and Shasi, and they are like the founders of parkour in
yeah,
Palestine.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I started like to watch them and got interested in what they do. So I started to hang out with them, and I found that they are training in the cemeteries and jumping in the big areas of sands.
Yeah.
And I thought it's a bit scary, like, oh, my father will not accept me going to the cemetery to train. You
Yeah.
know, the cemetery, it's called like people where they are dead. The
Yeah, cemetery. Cemetery.
cemetery,
Oh, you
exactly.
were training in cemeteries. Okay.
Exactly, cemeteries. So that's the place where we were training. It's like big areas of sand, died people and like dead people, and yeah, it was a bit scary. So I didn't tell my father that we were training there. So I was just I went with them to learn some flips and running on walls and stuff like that.
That's
It was
amazing.
fun. Still, like I, from that day, got stuck to parkour. Like I didn't want to stop it, and
Yeah.
even it was like a bit tough at the beginning. A lot of like scary. It's like going to the cemetery there. It's like
Yeah.
you start to imagine dead people there and in the darkness, and yeah, but I didn't mind it and just to try to keep it as a secret with from my
What
father.
can I ask why is the cemetery the place that you were training? Were there no
So
other spots in
I,
Gaza at the time?
So every spot where they were training, it was like people think they are trying to steal or they are destroying bases or think that
Okay.
they are weird people. So they try to avoid these people and we just go to the cemetery where there is no people to
Yeah.
complain about what they are doing. And because it was really a new sport, and in 2005, that time was like no one know about parkour or
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
something. So
2005, you said.
yeah.
Okay.
So at that time was like everyone just complaining about what we do, and so we try to avoid that people and just learning on the sand also, because in that areas where like sand and
Yeah.
easier to learn some flips in a moment that we don't have parkour gyms or like let's say soft material to learn
Yeah.
gymnastics or stuff like that. We don't have gymnastics gyms or
Yeah.
parkour gyms. It was like a new sport and everything was like not developed at all. Everything was just sand walls. So we just built our material by our hands, trying to get
Really?
sandbags, fill the sand in that sandbags, and trying to do flips. So we needed like a hard surface to jump
Yeah.
from on the sand. So we built that sandbags that become hard on the sand, and we can flip from it. Yeah, so it
Wow.
became started from that, and flips. I was so interested in just doing flips at that time,
Yeah.
and then
Why was that? Why was the what was it about flips that was making you like them so much?
I felt like, oh, I want to fly. I
Yeah,
want to,
yeah,
exactly. So it was like more like a feeling where you enjoy when you are in the air, and
yeah,
you want to look cool in front of other people. So as yeah, I want to do this flip. I want to do a
nice.
backflip. I was really just a nice feeling. It's just to change feelings to start doing flips. And yeah, and
Because
after that, sorry.
no, no, I was just gonna ask because I remember when the first time that I saw PK Gaza videos. First of all, as we talked about earlier, the fact that parkour was everywhere in my head was like really interesting because this is when we were just figuring out parkour.
Yeah,
But the stuff that I was seeing coming from PK Gaza was, as you say, like big flips, but also like jumping from. You were
high
talking about
volume.
making sand, but jumping from really high, almost like Russian videos into snow. Almost, do you know what I
And
mean?
this,
It was really.
yeah.
So when you say that, yeah, I understand better now what you mean by this love of flying almost. You know what I mean?
We wanted to be like Russians, like
Yeah.
we were like watching Russian videos, and we want to be, oh, let's do like them. So we see that double castaway, we see that quad the backflips and all of that stuff, and we tried to do all of that tricks in Gaza.
How was it like okay, like just we've gone head first. So in Gaza when you were training, what was were people just sending stuff? Do you know what I mean? Or were there people
Yeah.
like how were the I asked this in a way, right, how were the bales? Because
So
yeah, go.
sorry. So every person of the team, we had like a team of like at least 12 persons,
Mm-hmm.
12 athletes, and every of us has their own styles and they have their own tricks. So when we want to film a video, every person needs to think about which tricks they want to do for the video. And that's what we think. Okay, I want to do this flip. Even without the training that flips, I can, for example, if I can do double front flip to my ass, okay, I want to do triple front flip. And that's how was the mentality. Then we go to the cemetery, and then my friends, okay, are you ready? We go for a higher wall. And then okay, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. They count for me to 3
And you
many
just
times, and then I get motivated and I have to send it, however, like just for the video, if I land or not land. We never thought that the trick need to be landed perfectly or need to be just go over, flip the 3 flips, and then it's done. It's good for the video now.
and
So
what did you think would be what that's amazing. Just for me personally, in terms of training, that would scare me. I am the guy, or at least growing up, I was the guy who'd always be like, okay, 1, 2, do you know what I mean? It doesn't matter. I could count 1,000 times to 3, and I'd just be like, oh, why am I not
uh,
just going for it? All these other guys
no,
just send it. No, you. That's
the
really
thing is, it's not you who need to count. The others need to
everyone
count
else.
for you.
Okay.
Yeah, because if I'm standing and the others are counting for me, then they put me in the situation where I
Okay.
must do it. Otherwise, I'm that person who ran away from something that I will be that not a good thing for me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I understand.
So
No,
I have to send it. Otherwise, they will be like, oh, mad at me or something.
yeah, yeah. I
And
can't.
even like when you send the trick, they will even go to run on you and then even like start hitting you. Good job,
Yeah,
good
yeah, yeah,
job.
yeah, yeah. So it was less about getting the chicken, more just going for it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And just trying to embarrass my friends and embarrass the Russian people. So yeah, that's what we want. We
I was.
tried to like embarrass Eric because they were watching our videos, and one it was like their comments were coming to our videos. Oh, now Russians turn need to
Yeah,
do the
yeah,
new
yeah, yeah.
video.
So there's like a friendly competition between the two.
Yeah, it was like a
That's
competition at that time. Like,
that's
oh, we need to.
so interesting.
Yeah, it was really cool. So I met with Basha and that other guys because they sent a picture for us. Well, like they had our logo behind them, and all of them like mentioning that, pointing on our big and our logo.
Yeah, man, that
Like
must have been so.
it was Eric and Basha and
And when was
Stan.
this?
It was in 2013.
2013.
Yeah, and then that time, like, yeah, when I met Pasha, he was like, "You are crazy, motherfuckers." I also like met with Archie, other guys from Russia. You know
Yeah,
Archie?
Arch. Yeah, yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that is the new stylish guy
Yeah, yeah,
from
yeah, yeah,
Russia.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No,
Yeah, he
he's.
was like, "Oh, you guys in Gaza, like, you are like gods for our friends in Russia, or like you are their heroes." I
Yeah,
said,
man.
"Oh,
Cause
thank you, bro." I was like impressed because we could reach what we wanted from the Russian people because they were like our heroes, and we
yeah, no,
wanted
that
to
must
become
have
like
been.
that.
I think
Yeah,
that's what I like. I've said this before, but that's what I like about the parkour community is like we look up to these people, but at the same time, they're not too far away from us. These people can also just
Exactly.
talk to you, and to have that moment of the people that you were trying to be like coming to you guys and being like, oh my God, you guys are actually
Crazy.
nice. Do you know what I mean? That must have been
Yeah.
really, because I think
Yeah.
one of the things that, yeah, I think I'd like to we're talking about talk about a little bit is like, I don't think, I personally, talking from my experience, I have no idea. I can't even imagine what it would be like to be in Gaza. It's something that
So,
I can never relate to. Do you know what I mean? I grew up in a kind of
mm,
like in a safe place. So like, I, if we can, we don't need to talk about it very long, but I just, as a kind of an insight, when you were
mhm.
training in these places, can you tell me, now that you've moved to Sweden, for example, now that you've gone out, what, yeah, what is it like training in Gaza?
So the training in Gaza, as I said, like uh, let's say from the beginning, it's a place where we are closed. We cannot travel from there easily. We need to have like a lot of a lot of process to be able to travel from Gaza, even
Hmm.
to join a jam or something. So first, I never thought about joining parkour events or parkour competitions. I just thought about becoming good at parkour. I wanted to become good at parkour.
Yeah.
And yeah, in that time I wanted to train, and then I found the only place where I trained was the sim. Let's say cemetery. How do you say it? Cemetery.
Cemetery.
Cemetery. I'm not English.
And so no, it's
But
fine, dude. Neither am I. Like sem, we can take a
cemetery.
moment. Cemetery. I try not to.
Cemetery.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I'm
Okay.
Scottish, dude. I have no idea if the way I say things is correct all the time.
Okay,
Half the
cemetery.
Germans here correct my English. I
Oh,
swear.
even the Germans.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
So
So
yeah,
cemetery. Yeah, we were.
yeah,
I
perfect.
found that the cemetery was the place where I had to train, where
Hmm.
like dangerous stuff around me, sand, walls. No, like no people care about what we do. So we just had to train in that environment. Even like we had a lot of times where we tried to jump over hospitals or schools buildings where we found the good spots, and we always had to run from the police. They
Yeah.
never caught us. So we tried to run from the police, because if they catch us, then we have to pay a fine for them.
Yeah.
And they were really like running after us with like two two police cars or stuff like that. So
Really.
always try to run away from them, because we don't get problems. We don't want to get problems. And yeah, let's say something else was also about the moment when we became good at parkour. We wanted to join parkour jams, and especially the moments we started to get invited for parkour workshops, parkour competitions, or stuff like that. Then we wanted just to travel. And from there it started the problem for us, because every time we want to join a competition or a parkour jam, a workshop, then we had to go through all of that process when we need to apply for a visa and then travel from Egypt. So first we try to apply for the visa, and then you need to wait like 1 month at least to get the decision for your visa, and then it's like refused visa. Wow, why? Even it's like you apply for a sports visa, and then they refuse that visa, and then we apply another time for another competition, another jam, and then we apply again and again, and all the time was like refused. And the moments we get accepted visa was like we have another problem, which getting out from Gaza, from the Egyptian side, from the Egyptian borders. And then it's like Egyptian borders are closed, then we cannot travel even from Egypt. So we have to lose that chance to travel from Gaza, because we have the visa, but we cannot get from out of Gaza, because the borders between us and Egypt are closed. And yeah, last thing was I got invited for that. I got help from Marcus Gustafsson, if you know him, Zirkin.
Marcus,
Yes.
the black hair, really black hair.
Yeah, black hair Gustafsson from,
Yeah, yeah, I'm fairly sure. Like, yes, I know them through Johnston. So like, I'm really, yeah, 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 yeah. I
so
didn't know it was him that helped you out. That was sick.
so he wrote that written invitation, and the same time I had a friend in Sweden that was like wanted to help me with that. So she also wrote like a personal invitation, so I can it become like two invitations to come to
So,
Sweden.
is that the process? Because like, obviously, like, as we talked about, I'm fairly ignorant to what it's like
Yeah.
not to be accepted in like a group of countries. I know that's a really bad way to say it, but now
Yeah.
with Brexit, there's a whole. I'm now even more interested in it because yeah, we are now no longer EU citizens. But the point is what is the process for you to be able to go and get a visa? You need to have somebody in that country that's
In
backed
that
up,
country, or yeah, exactly. Otherwise, you cannot travel because you
and
need
it
a reason to travel.
and can it be
What
any
is it?
random people or does it have to be like
No,
some?
it cannot be random. You need to be like a official organization or like a company that have a registered number so that can contact the embassy in the country where I want to apply from.
Mhm.
So the person who invited me, now it's like send the invitation for the embassy, and then they contact the embassy to call them that they are inviting me to
Mhm.
travel to Sweden, and then yeah, it took like 2 weeks to get the decision about my visa, and then I got it. It was accepted, and I was like really very happy because it was like after many refused visas. And then I had to think about how will I get out of Gaza now.
Yeah.
At that time, I was really lucky that the crossing were open, like the crossings between us and Egypt, the
Why
borders.
do you know why they were opened at the time?
So at that time, like in Gaza and Egypt, between us and Egypt, they open like 3 times, 3 days every 3 months or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So in that 3 days, I could travel because I had like I had a contact with one of that sports managers in Gaza, and then I told them I really have to join this competition. I have a visa, I have a sports visa, and if I cannot travel in these 3 days, then I will miss my chance to join this competition.
Can I ask a
And
small question about that as well? Is
yeah, for sure.
how or like you were saying that you were talking to the sports manager person. How is organized sports in Gaza? Because obviously, like there's like clubs and stuff here, but is sport in Gaza um organized with like clubs and stuff, or is it how big is
They
the?
have, yeah, they have like a union for the sport
Okay.
where they have like taekwondo, football, and that's famous sports, not
Hmm.
parkour, because parkour was not like recognized or anything in Gaza.
Okay.
And we try to contact these people because they are like easy to reach in Gaza. It's just you go to their office. It's not, you don't have to book an appointment or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
You just go to their office and say, I want to talk to the manager here. I have this.
That's so nice.
Yeah, and then you just go and talk to them and explain your situation, and you say you are the champion, and you are from, I will represent Palestine or something, and then you say, okay, no worries.
Sorry. That's yeah, nice.
It
That's
is really like that.
nice.
It is like it's not like when I came to Sweden here, it's like it's hard contacts. You need to contact somebody through the email to meet with this person.
How many people are in Gaza?
It's like more than 2 million. It's
Just
really so
2 minutes.
much people in that little area. It's
Yeah.
it's, it's very small area.
How big Palestine? How many people live in Palestine in general?
In Palestine is like 10 millions,
Okay.
and in Gaza is like 48 kilometers long or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess something less than that even. So it's really small area with 2 millions. And then imagine like Sweden, it's that big long area is
Yeah.
like 10
Yeah.
millions, and we are like there in Gaza, like a very big traffic there, like people traffic. How do
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
call it? Yeah,
A lot of no,
it's
a
a
lot
lot
of
of
people in a
people.
small place.
Small area.
Yeah. So
Mm.
sorry, you were looking at getting a visa to come to Switzerland, and you got
Sweden.
Sweden. Oh, not sorry, dude. I names, man, names of places do not
Yes,
stick in my
Sweden.
head well. But Sweden, yeah. So,
Mm.
oh, I had a so you were getting it,
I was,
and the visa,
and
did
then
it come through okay? Did it come through fairly quickly?
it it came after 2 weeks accepted. I didn't expect it will be accepted. So I called the embassy and asked them, did my passport arrive or not yet? And they said, yeah, it's been here for more than 3 days, but you are not answering your phone. But
Okay.
I didn't get any phone call from them. Then I went to
Right.
the embassy and then picked up my passport, not expecting it will be a visa or not.
Yeah.
I actually like was like thinking it will be a refused visa. Wait, I guess I have my passport somewhere here with the.
Yeah, that would be sick to see.
Wait, just a second.
No, it's all right. That's amazing.
So
And is that how common is it to have a passport?
that's a Swedish thing. That's a Swedish passport.
Oh, that's a look at that. Just says
Yeah,
that. Just wow. I'm not even gonna say what that's. That's very shiny.
it is. But see the Palestinian passport. So this passport not gonna take me anywhere in the world.
Oh wow.
So wait, it's what is the Swedish visa?
And did you only? Again, full ignorant. Did you only get this passport to go to Sweden, or did you have that passport before?
I had this passport. I even had a Chinese visa for that. They had the World Championship in China. I got invited for that. It was in that time I was invited with, it was like 3 people got invited. Me, Dom Tomato, and Eric Makamechi got invited. I don't know what was the other guy. I didn't go. I couldn't travel that time.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, and this one is the Swedish visa.
Wow.
So that's the way they put the visa in your passport.
Yeah.
And a lot of refused visa, I guess, in this passport. This is the Italian embassy.
Yeah.
You know, Crab Invaders? Crab. It was a event called the Crab Invaders in Italy.
Yeah. The Crab Invaders.
Yeah, that event I got invited for it also.
And did you go to that? No.
No, I couldn't travel. I got refused the Italian visa.
Wow.
I even had like I could get an invitation to study in a university, and still I couldn't travel.
Right.
So
that's mad. So
I was really bad.
So the reason why you could go to Sweden is because it was. What was different about Sweden? Was it in that 3 days that things were open, or?
So it was the first time I applied for the Swedish visa.
Yeah.
And I guess they got bored of me trying to apply for many competitions and never. So they just accepted it. I don't know why, but
interesting.
It feels like Sweden were like a very kind country to me from first try to Sweden. We're like, okay, you get this. And I really got invited for the one in 2015 to the Swedish Airweb Challenge, the Airweb Challenge 2015. But I didn't apply for that visa at that time because I was scared to get like refused visa again. So I tried to not get so many refused visas in my passport. And then I even didn't have so much time. So the time that Marcus sent me that invitation was like 2 weeks before the competition.
Yeah.
So I needed to have like 1 month at least before applying for that visa. And then it was very short time. So I didn't want to risk it and just apply, because it's also so much money. You need to pay every time you apply for the visa, 500 euros every time.
Wow.
In our country, 500 euros is so much money.
That's a lot of, wow.
And also you need also to lose all of that money. I didn't pay anything of that. The moment you are invited, so it was always for free because they pay all of that costs. And
wow, that's still, to be fair, like that is a lot of money for anyone. I don't know.
It is really so much money. Imagine like you lose that money the moment you just get a refused visa. You cannot get back.
So you need, in order to be even if you did want to travel from Gaza, you need to be able to have money to be able to do that.
Yeah, it's like fees, visa fees. That's something that costs that much money in there. And also like you need to have also money in your bank account, like at least 1,000 euro or something like that. At least something over 1,000 euros, especially in Gaza.
No, I remember.
So
that. So
it's a lot of process.
What year is it?
What
was the year that you came to Sweden? Went to Sweden then?
Yeah, it was the end of 2016. So the competition Airweb Challenge was in November 2016. At that time, I arrived to Sweden, and then I stayed.
So
it's almost 5 years.
Really, 5 years.
I'm here for more than 4 years now, and really the time flies really so fast. I don't feel that I'm here for more than 4 years.
Yeah. No, I can imagine. I understand. I feel like I understand. Time. The older you get, the quicker time goes by. It's really strange. So yeah, let's just. So, oh man, there's so much In this, so when you went to the airwork competition, first of all, how was that?
It was really cool, but so stressful. Like,
Really?
yeah, I was looking at everyone there was like throwing that big tricks. So first thing for the warm up, I was doing, double gainer to that mat. But it was like I did it for a warm up, and then everyone was like, "Oh!" But I didn't get into that because I knew, okay, maybe if I do that trick, I maybe hurt myself.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then I didn't do it. It was like from a 2.5 meters wall or something.
And have you done that before?
I did double gainers a lot.
Yeah,
In
yeah.
Gaza, I did more than 300 double gainers.
Wow, because that's
I have a
even that trick is madness. Like
I
actually,
did it to grass. I did it from like 1.5 meter high. That was, I guess, the lowest. I did double gainer.
wow,
Yeah. You can check it. There
that's
is a double gainer compilation on
compilation. Yeah,
YouTube.
dude, I'm definitely just gonna go search that after this. It's just really because yeah, like so. Obviously, I'm trying to tell the story of you getting to Sweden, but we're getting distracted. But I'll let myself get distracted. When I first met you, and I want to say this because it sticks in my mind as one of those moments where I'm like full, like commitment to me was always something. I said this before, like commitment to me was always something that I really struggled with, and to watch. We were in Gravity Sucks for the people at home. Sorry, we've already
Yeah,
talked about this. Gravity Sucks for the people at home. That was, I think, in 2017 or 2018.
I came 2017 to 2000. I came twice to the
Yeah,
graphic sites.
I've been. Yeah,
Yeah.
Gravity Sucks. I first of all, Gravity Sucks is a jam that I say we. Unfortunately, it's not been on for the last couple of years, but it's a
Mm.
jam that the Dihali guys put on, and part of the mission statement is to really get lots of different communities from all over the world, especially trying to give opportunities to people who live in countries like Ahmad just talked about, like where it's difficult to get visas and stuff. So obviously we didn't do that. You were in Sweden at the time when you came down, but you were here. I've heard rumors about the Gaza guys, and we'll talk about that in a little bit about the way that you guys trained then. But I just remember there was the experience that I had. I was sitting with some people, and it's one of those things when you know something big is about to go down, everyone kind of goes quiet. So we're in
Yeah.
this, so it was this big gym hall. It was this really big gym hall, and it was where the viewing gallery was. And we all kind of looked over, and everyone's kind of looking at you, and you're like back against the wall, and you're just
Yeah,
waiting.
I
And I
wanted to get some speed.
do you know what I mean? So I just, but you were just totally zoning in, and I think it was me and Lorena from
Yeah,
America. We were sitting
Lorena,
there
yeah.
watching you, and we both were just like,
Oh my God.
I couldn't figure out what it is that you were going for. There was a part of me being like, are you going for the rail precision? Because that's big, man. That rail precision's big. I was really sitting there being like, is he going for the rail precision? That's the only thing I could really see you going for. I was like, and then. Yeah, the thing in like parkour jams is that everyone's watching it, and then at one point people start to get their kind of phones out. So at this point I was like, oh
My God.
I was like, oh, and then basically you went for it and you just go and you go head first. So immediately the rail precision, I'm like, nah, what is he doing? And you go for the front flip. So people at home, there's like a gallery here, and then there's a drop of a solid 5 to 6 meters. So in total, I think there's about a 10-meter height drop. And you go for the front flip, and I was just so astounded. And honestly, I thought you had it. Like you were, in my mind, your feet
I
had
landed on
landed.
my feet. I
Mm-hmm.
landed on my feet. I slipped, I guess, with one of my feet. The floor was so slippery.
Yeah.
Couldn't control myself. And just instead of rolling over my shoulder, rolled on my head.
Yeah.
I didn't have control.
And
I passed out really. Like I guess I went in coma like for 3 minutes. That I was like, or one. I don't remember how much was that.
I remember because I watched you. I don't think you go in. I don't think it's as long as like. I think it must have been about a minute, maybe a minute and a half. I don't think it was very long.
I was not awake.
But you landed. I thought you had it. As you say, one of your foot slipped out, and you go down and hit what looked like your shoulder, and you just slid for about 5 meters.
Yeah, I guess I have the video. Let's see.
If you could.
Do you think I can make it like share it to the?
You might be able to, but I think the connection is really bad. As much as we're not necessarily high tech here at the moment, because it's me just running this. But like, if you show it to
let's see where
But
was like my,
it was one of those moments where I really appreciated, like, you had it. Like throughout the entire movement, I was like, you have this. But it was one of those moments where like commitment,
yes.
it's not often that you see commitment like this.
Yeah,
It gives me
we.
shivers. I'm getting like, oh.
Oh wait. So look, where is my feet?
Yeah, you can't really
Wait,
can.
wait. Oh, why is that
It's
happening?
so bright.
It's
Oh
so
yeah,
bright.
yeah, 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 yeah. Here, so he comes
Yeah,
out, he goes down. Oh, it's madness. Can you show it from the start real quick? Because I don't
yeah.
think people like watching you in the air doesn't do it justice.
Right, let's
I'm
just
so
start the
excited,
video.
Michael. Oh, look. So that's at the top of the gallery. He has to go forward. Oh, yeah.
You see my right leg?
Yeah.
It slipped, and I guess it was really a slippery floor, but I also over rotated a bit. And
So so when you were in that moment, because obviously I just want to go into that head, because honestly, when I hadn't really talked to you then, this is pretty much the most I think we've ever like sat down and chat. But for me, yeah, man, that was it was a really interesting thing to view. If I haven't said this yet, fair play going for that. Like that was like I have so much respect for just going for
thanks,
that.
bro.
Even more respect that you basically almost did it. Like it happened. Do you know what I mean? You landed on your feet. It was
Yeah,
just a little thing made it go wrong. But can you talk a little bit about when did you see that jump? Was that something you turned up and was like, yo, I want to do a front flip off the highest thing? Or did you walk up there and look at it? Or
yeah,
what was it?
I looked at it and I wanted to do it because I wanted to do like something big, especially like for me. Everywhere I go, I try to do something big, and that's like a mentality in Gaza we had. Like, let's do something big. Let's
Yeah.
make everyone watch this. Especially like, I did that front flip from like around 7.5 meters or
Yeah.
8 meters, let's say, to the sand. So I had like a very big control on the front flip at that time. Like I could like stall in the front
Yeah.
at the beginning, but like after some time when I arrived to Sweden, I had like that time where I have like a problem in my mind, like scared that I do 180 in the front flip. So when I did that front flip,
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to do the rotation before it turned into 180, because it's like I started to get that problem when I am in the air, like doing the front flip, then it turned into like 180, and I
Mm-hmm.
didn't want that to happen to me. So I just tried to grab my knees directly in the moment when I go over the bar.
Yeah.
So I had so much time waiting, like to land on the floor. So yeah, what was the question? Like, what do we have? Like, what's the mentality? Like, why did I want to do that big front
No,
flip?
not necessarily what, but so for example, like when you came into the building, for example, you were like, you want to do
Yeah.
something big. Did you go around the building and look for something big, and that was the thing that you found?
No, so I was doing, gainers from over like the top of that obstacle course you made, if you remember. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
so I did the gainer over that gap in that obstacle course you built, and it was like something easy for me. And I saw Dom Tomatoes like going around doing big front flips, and I said, okay.
Can I? Right. Yes. Do you remember when Dom turned up that morning?
But Dom came like started to do that front flips and that, and then I started to do that gainers instead. I
Yeah.
was like, we are in Gaza like a bit compete. We have that competing mentality,
Yeah.
but it changed. It totally changed the moment I came to Sweden, and like we always wanted to do something big, even if it's like something I'm not 100% sure of.
Yeah.
So at that time, I really asked Dom Tomato if he wanted to do that front flip with me, and
Yeah.
he said no, no, no,
Oh,
no.
so that meant I assume that meant that you were like, right, I got to do this now.
Yeah. So he didn't want to do it, and I said, okay, I will do it.
Oh yes, mate.
I really want to, and I said, okay, do you want to do this front flip with me?
And he
He
was
said
just,
no.
nah,
No,
man.
no, 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 no. This.
I think this is the yeah. Oh, I'm just gonna put my charger on my laptop. Oh, I feel like that you outdid the front flip king. I feel like people at home, all of the 0 participants in our Zoom thing, you heard it here first. The real front flip king is not Dom Tomato. Is it Ahmad right here?
I feel like I did it. I did one of the biggest drops like with the front flip like in 2013, and that was like around. I guess everyone saw that video at that time. Who does parkour was like that video got so famous, and was like from let's say 7.5. Did you see that gainer from the same building? If you seen, wait, it's so bright here, so it's just so hard to show something. But
yeah, I know. I need to do some like research. One point when I
if
have some
you,
time, I'll
I
figure
guess
this out.
if it's like a share screen sharing or something like that.
You could try and do screen share. I'm not sure if you can do it on your side. Yeah, you
I
can
guess,
check it
yeah,
out.
I can. Let's see, Gaza Parkour.
The only thing is it's a bit glitchy, I feel, depending on how good your internet is. But you've got nice
I guess
Swedish
I have,
internet. I bet you that's the fastest around.
I guess so. Let's see. This is the video, and let us start with the commercial first, and let's just, I will share the screen from.
Oh, I'm excited. I haven't had anyone else on the other side.
Is it sharing at the moment, or what do you think?
I can't see it just here, no.
Hasn't disabled. Okay, it's host disabled.
Oh, well, I might have to do some. What happens if I do this? More. Allow.
Yeah,
I can't. Allow to record, allow to multi-pin, put in waiting room. No, I don't think I can do this right now.
Okay, but I guess I can just share it with you here in the phone as like what I did before.
We'll try.
I will mute the sound. So in this video, we'll see. Okay.
Oh, there we go. You just got to send it a bit closer. Oh, wow. Yes. Sorry,
wait, it's coming. Wait. Yeah, Andrew. Wait, it's a bad internet now.
Oh, it heard me talk about the nice Swedish internet.
Oh. You cannot talk.
I jinxed it. Oh, here we go.
Oh my God, that was.
It's fine.
Okay, let's see again now.
Okay, we got this. Come on, internet. Yes, nice. Whoa! Sorry. Wow! That technique is madness. That idea of just full sending it, just throwing yourself and just.
Yeah, look, it's the wait. Yo. Now it's coming that gainer. That I did also. I guess you see in there. Now after that is coming the double gainer.
Yo, you know what? I think it kind of showed like that. You do double gainers.
I did a lot of double gainers.
How is it? Have you done double gainers recently?
I did one in Sweden to just a soft mat, so many times. But doing it to soft mat is not the same as doing it to. Here is the front flip I wanted to show. It's like that one was one of the highest front flips I have done in Gaza. It's coming after this.
Honestly, I could just sit and watch all these videos. This is sweet.
Look at it.
Whoa, yeah. I think I have seen that one.
Have you seen that one?
Yeah.
That, I guess, one of my highest front flips.
It's crazy. It's actually just on this note, because I wanted to talk about this. It's crazy now that you're showing the level of flips, because there's so many flips in that. And as you said, that video must be kind of like I don't want to say it's old, but you know what I mean? Relatively a few years ago now. And all those flips are super high level. Do you know what I mean? Like they're super in terms of not just like how clean it is, but in terms of at the time in parkour, what flips were popping, if you know what I mean. Which flips were getting popular. A lot of what I saw in there was like in terms of creativity in parkour, pushing the boundaries of not pushing it, but you know what I mean? Like going for the craziest stuff.
We try to go for the crazy stuff.
What is it like in Sweden now? Because you're now in Sweden, and I think for me to kind of sum it up, I feel like Scandinavia, Denmark, I lived in Denmark for a bit, so I know this from the Danish thing, but Scandinavia is an incredibly interesting, how they've taken parkour and just been like, cool, we put money into it. And then now whenever I go to anywhere, like, as I said, I know people who know people in Sweden, and I know those guys, and also Denmark and Sweden and Norway are kind of close, but they're just full of, this isn't meant to be a diss, but like gym children, like children who can do swing double backflip and land perfectly as if it's not a thing.
Crazy here.
So
Yeah,
what
I
is it
mean,
like in that? Yeah, I'm just saying, do you see similarities in the kind of pushing the, but what similarities do you see between Sweden and Gaza in terms
so
of
the
the?
Swedish kids
Yeah.
are one of the craziest kids I have seen, but they're throwing tricks to into gym first. Like they're throwing the tricks in the soft mats at the beginning. First they start on the foam bit. They have coach who started parkour 10, 15 years ago who have some experience, so they help them. At least, for example, for me now, I'm coaching in different schools, and having some special groups in the evenings where I try to help them to become better at parkour. And then so it's like the difference between here and Gaza is like the material, the gyms, and the care care about the sport in Sweden, because people put money into this sport here,
Mm-hmm.
and they want their kids to train. They send their kids to train. They pay money for the kids so they become better at parkour. So the moment that you are able to create like a parkour course, then you are able to get money from that course, so you can think bigger. Then you can create a gym. Then you can like get more kids who train parkour in that gym, and then like it's safe for kids. Kids can train by themselves in that foam pit and do flips by themselves, and then they start to watch videos. They do that tricks as they see in the videos. They get inspired by other athletes like who train in the same gym, and then yeah, it becomes like that. That's why I say, like, have you seen Ellis Turhal? That
Yes,
little guy,
I
he's
think
one
so.
of the best kids I have seen, like in the world. Like he train in the gym a lot, but he does all of that tricks outside also. Like
Yeah,
he did a lot of treble swing gainer or stuff.
that's mad.
Yeah, he's really crazy, and I see like the Swedish kids are amazing, and and that's all because of the care about the sport, as you say, the money that they put into sports here in
I think
Sweden.
also because now that I've actually you've hit something that I've never really looked at it from that point of view before. Is that so? For example, in Denmark, gymnastics is a really big thing in Denmark. Like as you say,
Yeah,
I think it's also Scandinavian in general, but the culture definitely has a value in volunteering and putting money towards things and helping the local community. But I
yeah,
think that, for example, in looking at gymnastics, from the conversation I had with Ed as well, talking about what he was saying is he likes gymnastics way of learning because it is kind of block. It's like you have this and then you have this and then the next thing and next thing and next thing.
yeah,
When looking at how, especially gyms and yeah, in Sweden, but also like Scandinavia in general, gyms, the fact you're right, the fact that they have a foam pit that is like level
yeah,
one and
yeah,
they're just surrounded by that. And as you, the idea like, yeah, these kids can play in the foam pit by themselves and they're relatively safe. So they do things in there. And then the next level is, you know, those, I call them Danish, but it's like just the big soft
big
mats,
soft
the
mats. Yeah, the
big
air.
soft
It's
mats.
like a air mat. It feels like air, but it's not
Yeah, like
air. It's like
foam,
they're
really soft
sewn,
stuff.
really
And then,
soft.
so
Yeah,
yeah, basically my point is just I never thought of it like that, but they're, because they have already got a lot of money in gymnastics and they know kind of like, oh, you just do this, this, and this, let kids play and they'll do crazy stuff.
yeah,
Um,
exactly.
yeah, interesting.
It is like in Sweden, they have like parkour as a part of the gymnastics, I guess. That's why it's like the support they gave into the gymnastics is also going to parkour, and that's they have done like more than 10 years ago, I guess. And it's not that all the companies or the as Airweb, for example, it's like a private organization.
Yeah,
It's not going for that gymnastic. So it's like because aerobic is not again, it's not with the having parkour as a part of the gymnastics.
yeah,
So they have their own organization, and they didn't go for the non-profit organization.
yeah,
So they get the support from the just people and from the courses they are doing. But about the other organizations here in Sweden, they are trying to make like non-profit organizations that is connected to the gymnastic federation, so they get money from the country for that. And that's why a lot of parkour gyms are developed, because they get money to develop gyms as they get money for the gymnastics and that. Otherwise, they're not going to be able to get money because they have to be under the gymnastic federation here and stuff like that,
interesting. So
which
like,
is a bit I'm not with having parkour as a part of the gymnastics, but I am with supporting parkour from the country, which is cannot be at the moment because they need to build their own union and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's interesting because like I have a few things written down here, but it's in the more I get experience of how parkour works in other countries and how developed they are
Mm.
and things like that, and also how people get money, the more I kind of first of all start to understand a little bit why certain people want to get. Oh, excuse me. This is why this is not a professional interview. Wow. Sorry, people. I thought that would, one of those ones when you think it will be quiet and then suddenly it's an explosion.
It's
Um,
like I cannot keep it.
yeah. Anyway, back to being. Anyway, so all around these countries, interesting finding out how they work and how they work with their
Yeah.
country and their governing body to get funding. And yeah, competitions, because I wrote it down here earlier. The reason you were talking earlier about how you were training, at first you were training because you wanted to just get good at parkour, and then you
I
started
wanted to become
then you were
exactly.
started to talk about how you want to do competitions. Now, competitions and stuff is one of these topics that people talk about in parkour, rightly
Exactly.
so,
Yeah.
just because we got to figure out our ideas. But there's a lot of sort of two parties that go on and argue. But from looking at from your point of view, or not just your point of view, but different points of views, competitions are a way for people to get a legitimacy, like to get recognized by the country in a way, because that's the way in which they do, and get funding. And for you, you were saying try and get opportunities outside of what is currently in front of you. Is that, would you
Exactly.
agree
Yeah.
with that?
I am at the moment. I am not with having parkour as a competitive
Okay.
sport, but I am with having fun with parkour. So if I enjoy doing competitions, then I will do it. It can be like a speed competition, as like jumping over obstacles or stuff like that. It should not be like a freestyle competition, and then someone need to judge you and about what you do, what tricks you do, because the moment I, for example, if I want to perform in this course, I want to do some flips and that stuff, then I should be happy about what I'm doing in this course. Then I should not be judged by someone then tells me that, oh, this run was not nice or this was nice. So everyone have their own level, everyone have their own style, and for me, having the freestyle competitions is something I try to avoid at the moment. I stopped joining like freestyle competitions and just I like to do that tricks competition where you try to do the biggest jump or trying to do like one of yeah, best tricks, and that kind of competitions for me it's okay. But the moment that I have to do something to be able to do the like trying to connect different skills together as which called the freestyle competitions.
Hmm.
It's something I stopped doing, but still like everyone is free to do what they do as they always say, and I'm not against having parkour competitions in a moment if it can grow the sport and if it can make more if it can make parkour recognized as a sport, as you said.
Yeah, for sure. I think, yeah, for me,
It
yeah, I
helps a
think
lot. Yeah.
it does. I think it helps a lot. It also, like, you're right in the sense of, I mean, at the start, the freestyle competitions, I think, were like a natural way of just kind of doing something. But I think that you're right. I also connect more with the kind of competitions that are like skill based, or, and also, to be honest, as you said, for me it really doesn't have much to do with, doesn't have too much to do with what it is that you're doing. It's about who it is and why it is that they're doing it. Do you know what I mean? If you're making
Mm,
a competition with the energy of like we're all just here to have fun,
mm,
then that's for me the energy will be sick. If you so I just think that sometimes the comps that I really enjoy are the people when they actively say that. And you know what I mean? Like the people are actively
yeah,
being like, yo, it doesn't matter. We're just here to have fun. Do you know what I mean? Whereas some
exactly.
competitions,
Yeah.
I think they do it, but because they're not actively saying that, some people can take on different things. But I think that, yeah, in general, the competition aspect, but in terms of the gymnastics side of things, personally for me, it has nothing really to do with whether or not
Mm,
gymnastics wants to make a competition. Like they can do, for me in this sense, it's like, well, Red Bull went and had a competition, and actually after some
yeah.
time it showed it was quite cool. For me, it's the main point that gymnastics wants to take total control of it in terms
Take
of the
control.
governance. And it's a perspective that I think maybe now you can relate to, because as a coach, you're you need to, like, in some countries you need to have a not a qualification, but you need to show what it is to
To
people
com-
that to,
yeah.
yeah, do you know, you need to
To
show,
take.
hey, okay, I do parkour, I've been doing it 10 years, and they'll be like, okay, what is it do you have to show for that? And having a qualification in some ways is pretty good. Obviously, it depends on who's making the competition, but not competition, the qualification.
Qualifications, yeah.
See, I told you I can barely speak English, but the qualification. But at the end of the day, for me, it does, as long as the qualification comes from the parkour community, then it has some kind of say. Whether I agree with it or not, it doesn't matter. At least it's from us. What's happening with gymnastics is they want to take over and get gymnastics to be in control of the qualifications.
Yeah.
And
Which
even
I'm against, yeah.
And what's interesting is, as you say, the countries that have had a good relationship with gymnastics, parkour relationship with gymnastics, which is Denmark, Sweden, Norway, as far as I'm aware, all of the gymnastics guys are like, no, that isn't all of the gymnastics, not all of them, but I've heard that in these countries, potentially, I could be talking complete rubbish, but I get this feeling that the gymnastics are like, yeah, that's not parkour. Gymnastics isn't parkour. It's similar. It has connections, sure. But as far as I'm aware, most gymnastics organizations in these countries are like, they are different.
It cannot work. Yeah, it's like the moment I wanted to work here, they asked me like to have that certifications about being a coach, being qualified as a coach.
Yeah.
And then I said, I don't want someone to teach me how to teach, because I have the ability to teach. I don't want someone to give me what to teach and what tricks to teach. I have my own tricks. Everyone is creative the way they are about what they teach and stuff like that. Parkour is not something that the gymnastics people having in their history. So at that time, I really refused to join courses. And the moment I went once to watch what they are doing in that courses, I didn't do anything. And at that time, like they asked me for that qualification, so I am ever, and still like I work here without having any qualifications or some stuff like that. And still like it's legal because you are teaching something. You are teaching sport. The kids are still enjoying what you are teaching. So I don't need that qualifications here. Some people say you need it, but I don't care about it. I don't want to get that qualifications from someone who I have better knowledge than him.
Yeah, especially if it's coming from gymnastics. I think
exactly. It's like if it comes from gymnastics, especially like.
But I think, I don't know. I think that conversation is an interesting one, simply because, like, I was also the same for a long time in terms of like, qualification. In Scotland, we've had quite a lot of coaches. Our community was one that was, I would definitely say, not everyone in the community, but the guys who were organizing and running the community, creating jams, creating these things, were also the first people to teach. And they had quite a lot of ties with the guys in London. So when there's like the ADAPT qualification at the time and other parkour qualifications, these were the guys who were testing those qualifications in the UK. So for me, looking at qualifications, I totally see that point of like, you don't necessarily need it. I also agree that anyone can be a teacher.
Exactly.
I think that in terms of learning, we were talking about this earlier, but in certain countries, you need to have a certain level of other people looking at you, and they can't relate to like your experience. They need to see something that means that they will then give you money. It's exactly in that way. So for me, the thing that shifted in my head is now when I look at qualifications, I try to think less about what that thing won't be teaching me necessarily. I mean, of course, you can learn from everything as well, right?
Exactly. We learn from everyone, but still.
It's not so much what it will give me, but I wonder, like, what will that give me in the eyes of other people? If I get this qualification that I sit there for 2, 3 or 4 days and I just go, I know all this. At the end of the day, as soon as I get it, it allows me to be able to get to a level. I say this, I haven't done a new qualification for years. Do you know what I mean? There's qualifications, there's qualifications that I could do. I'm sitting there being like, I'm here now. Do you know what I mean? I'm enjoying this at the moment. But I do kind of see your point, and I do see why it's like, I just enjoy that conversation. It's something that I think that not many people, because we talked about this when you said earlier, you were saying that you're professional, kind of. We were saying that you're a professional. Why did you say kind of?
I am a professional.
Nice.
Look, at the moment, like, the moment I do something, I'm 100% sure that I can do.
Yeah.
And as I say, the mentality from the moment I came from Gaza to Sweden.
Yeah, if you want, you can talk about that a little bit. Yeah, let's talk a little bit about that.
I started to do some other stuff. I started to focus more like about how to become 100% sure about what I'm doing, about if I can do this jump, the way I like or not, if I can do this trick the way I like, if I can land 100% or not. So every trick I do, I try to land it exactly how I want. Every jump I do it the way I want, and I try just to become professional in what I do.
Yeah,
Even
of
like
course.
everyone just like watch me, they know like who I am in Sweden, and they know what I can do. And still like I want to become better at what I do. I want to do bigger jumps. I want to do bigger flips, or it should not be like a triple flips or some that kind of stuff. Like I stopped doing like doing that triple flips or double flips.
Why did you stop
I
going for
start to enjoy
numbers?
more like big jumps, more like challenge parkour challenges became like more taking my mind. I want to do like parkour stuff, like how to do bigger jump, how to do stick a landing, how to do stride on a rails or stuff like that. So that
How
became
was
my
that transition? So you I would say this, you, because you were doing such big things, your
yeah,
mental game must have been quite like, okay, well, we've talked about it, you just go for it in a way.
exactly. Yeah.
How was it transitioning that mentality and going for like big jumps instead of like big flips? Did you find that you were able, did you still have to start small and build up, or
Not
were you
really.
able?
I already have the ability to do big jumps from before, but I was not always like focusing on that. Like I was just doing one jump and doing 10 flips before. Now I do 10 jumps and do one flip. So I
Nice.
just I focused more on my jumps, and it started day by day started to have bigger jumps, and I
What
really
effect,
try.
what effect did that have on you physically, but
Uh,
also like mentally?
affected really like much more. Like I am always like no injuries. I am 100% sure when I do a jump. I'm always sure where I'm gonna land and what can happen. And you know, when you train on rails, it's like it built like more confident in me. Like I
Yeah.
try like to train a lot on rails because I want to develop in my mentality. Like I want to be able to have control on myself. And the time I am landing on a rails, then I am that means like I'm controlled. And then yeah, from there I started like I tried to be more confident about what I'm doing. And yeah, more big jumps, drops, and the drops is always going to be with me.
Yeah, for sure. I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah, the drops is something I done a lot, and I have the control. I have a strong knees, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah.
Didn't have any injuries in my knees. It's just like the worst injuries I had in my life was my shoulder, that I dislocated my shoulder once when I was trying to do double cork or something. So I tried to pull my shoulders faster, then my shoulder went off in the air.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow. You caught
yeah.
like what? You twisted so fast you dislocated your
Yes, it's like
shoulder.
going like that. Then my shoulder went off in the air because I put so much power into the spin.
Wow.
Yeah, and that was the worst injury because then it happened to me many times every week. It's like my shoulder pops off, then I had to take
Oh.
it back. I need to ask someone to pull it back, and then yeah, it was tough. I still like have it, but it's less because I try to avoid any shoulder movements. It's like we use a lot of shoulders, but I try to use it less and less and more focus more on my legs.
Have you
And
learned how to twist on the other side yet?
I don't want to. It's so confusing. I mean, I did cork on the other side. I did backfall on the other side, but just the feeling is not so comfortable. When I do like a side fall, it's always I'm doing it the wrong way. So I'm doing the other side anyway, but not when I do corks. So when
Nice.
I want to do corks or stuff like that, I always do it the same way, but try to use one arm. So I'm just going like this,
Just
and then the other arm. Yeah, if you watch my corks or anything,
I'm gonna
directly I
watch
go
out
like
for them,
this
yeah.
and then like this. I don't go like all the way and then this.
You twist and just hold your shoulder. Just stay in.
Yeah,
Stay there.
yeah. I mean, it is like that. I still enjoy what I do, and yeah, at the moment,
Why
I'm.
why did your
Sorry.
mental game change? So what was it about training in Gaza that was different about training in Switzerland? Sweden. Oh, I was right the first
It's
time.
Sweden. The thing is, when I was in Gaza, let's say I was under 15 years. So
Yeah.
every trick I did was like I didn't have any coach. My coach was my friends. It's like we inspire each other. Everyone just let's go 1, 2, 3, do this flip. We don't know if we can do it or not. All of us are kids. we no one to tell you, oh, this is wrong, you cannot do this trick at the moment. Imagine you do a double front flip from 2 meters and land on your ass, your butt, let's say, and then your friends say, yeah, you can do it. They are
Yeah.
also 14 years old. They are not there. They cannot judge you if you can do it or not. They are not like a professional at it. And then I go there and in the top and then do that triple front flip, land on my head, for example. I had a concussion at that time. I swear, I had a concussion
Amazing.
doing a triple front flip. If you watch our Bells video, there is a compilation on our YouTube that got to more than 260,000
Yeah.
views. Yeah, and that video is like I bail a lot, and it was also because we didn't have the control. We were still learning. We just wanted to do tricks that other people doing.
Yeah.
We were still trying. We didn't have a gym. We were trying on sand instead of soft material. So
But I mean, I think you said something there that is something that, because something that I think about a lot is just like, what is that I think,
yeah,
it's a deeper thought, but it's this idea of like, I do genuinely believe this idea of like, we didn't have, like, you don't have a coach. You said that,
yeah,
we didn't have a
we are
coach.
kids, and
I think for me, when I'm looking at parkour, for example, or when I look at especially the groups of people who get really good at parkour, they often say like, yeah, we were just out training with my friends and we were doing it. And I've kind of come up with this, it's a much longer conversation, but it's this idea that first of all, drop my pen. I think that we do have coaches, but the thing is we didn't have coaches that were like, it's called top down, where like the person in gymnastics, let's say a gymnastics, they know everything, and it's like the kids come in and they just teach them like this. We didn't have that. We were all each other's coaches.
Exactly, that's what I had.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that that's the for me, it's this thing of like just acknowledging that in a way. Do you know what I mean? It's like this idea of, oh, we didn't have coaches, but it's like that shows an absence of somebody who should be there, kind of. Whereas in my head, it's like, actually, no, you and your mates were each other's coaches. It's not that like you were empowering each other, as you said. Do you know what I mean? And I love the way that you described it there, because it is like, I can feel it when you say this idea of like, when you go for a double front flip and you land on your ass, it's like, shit, that hurt, I'm not going to go for that. But if all of your mates who saw that was like, you are this close, go for it again.
Go for it.
Just send it. And honestly, I know what it's like. Half your mates are just saying that because they want to see you land on your ass again. Exactly. Do you know what I mean? But they're also waiting for that one moment of you actually doing it. And I think that you can have conversations about whether or not we need to be coached or whatever. That's not the point. But it's the point of whatever we are doing, whatever kids are doing, street kids who are just going, send it. Something within that is doing it right. Do you know what I mean? Because everyone who I've talked to, because as I said, like, I was always afraid of things. I'm getting better at it. Do you know what I mean? Like after 10 years of training, 11 years of training, you get like that. But like young Callum, like that starting session, I was the opposite. I was always the guy looking at these kids, other guys going, yeah, send it, and then doing double backs. And I'm like, no. Like, what are you doing? So yeah, I'm just saying that the people that who do have that mental game, who can send it, are usually people that, as you say, just had really good friends around them. And I think personally, that is the unique thing of parkour. Do you know what I mean? It's not just parkour, but many other but if you and your mates can go out and practice this thing that none of you really know about, but you still go off and train it in those ways, that is a way of learning something as well. And I think that's what parkour people try to, when we teach, we try to promote that message.
You know what I mean? We teach ourselves from our friends and from ourselves also. Like we try to learn from our mistakes and try to learn from trying. So we try to process it from bailing. So you start with falling and then you try to fall better and then try to land and then and then from there it starts like and that's why I love to teach also her. It's like because at the moment I'm coaching in schools. I go to different schools in Stockholm and every week like a different school and try to share parkour, like making parkour workshops for all the schools.
Can you speak? Like, can I ask just a self? Can you speak Swedish?
I do. Yeah,
nice.
I learned Swedish.
Nice. Respect.
You kind of brought a svenska.
Nice.
It means like I can speak Swedish at the moment.
Yeah. You can. I no respect. I tried to learn Danish a little bit, and the entire time I was in Denmark, I actually just learned German instead because in my head I was like, I feel
Okay.
like German is easier to learn. But yeah, no, carry on. You were saying that you're going into schools at
Yeah,
the
so
moment.
like I go to schools, like kids who don't know me, still like I go to kids who never tried parkour, and I make like a parkour course from the, like they have like that boxes, the gymnastic boxes, and they have some mats and
Yeah.
benches. So I try to make like an obstacle course from that, and then I try to teach them how to jump over these obstacles, and so it's like that. So I try to spread the sport around here in Stockholm, and it's like I work with organization that work with sports, and then they
Is that
wanted.
is that Airwhip?
No, Airweb is in the south of Sweden, and I am in Stockholm, so it's like 6 hours from
Right. So
Airweb.
you're
And
you're up there doing that yourself, or do you have a team of guys
no, I
or
just do
people?
that by myself. Like I'm working with organization that work with the municipalities in Stockholm, and
Nice.
they are cooperating to work in the schools. So I go to different schools teaching that parkour sport to the kids in the school as like a sport. So you have that sport lesson in the school, and they take over that lesson and teach parkour instead of any other thing they have in the school in their topic subjects or something.
That's
So
nice.
I teach parkour, and so every week I go to different schools. So I have like so many kids. Like imagine every school like have like a 400, 500 kids, and I visited more than 30 schools or something.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's in my head. Sometimes I try to wonder about how many people or how
it's a
many
lot.
kids you've taught. Do you know what I mean? Just because you kind of do that, but that is you're
Yeah,
rattling through like thousands.
it's a lot of kids. Even walk in the street. Hello, parkour lärare. It's like hello, parkour teacher.
Yeah,
Hello, Matar. Hello, 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 hello.
yeah.
It is cool, like, and then it's like a really good marketing for parkour and for me
Yeah, man,
myself as well.
and to have someone like you, like I've spent a long time well, not a long time. I've spent a long time teaching, and I've also been around like coaches for quite a long time. And I sometimes not forget, but I go really deep into like thinking how to do this. But I sometimes not forget, but it's just like for a kid who's never seen parkour, you sometimes don't need a coach. You just need
Yeah,
somebody who's sick to come in,
exactly.
send a double cork, hopefully not dislocate their shoulder, but
Yeah,
like send a double cork and just land it and be like, what's happening? Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
Like
And that's
this
what I
is
do in the schools.
yeah,
Exactly.
exactly. And I think that is something that we had. There's a guy, Mido. Mido is from Syria, and
Mido. Yeah, I
yeah,
know Mido.
yeah. He was somebody that like, because as I said, I can do stuff, but I get anxiety. Do you know what I mean? As soon as people are like, "Oh, Callum, do something," I'm like, "No." Whereas Mido really could show off, and he was a powerhouse. Do you know what I mean? He's down in Munich, I think, but he's now he did that for the kids. Do you know what I mean? The kids loved him. The kids got so much inspiration from him because he just did these crazy things. And I think
Yeah,
it's something that, yeah, for you to be able to do that and go into schools and yeah, just
yeah.
connect with these kids through movement. These guys will
That
forever be
is
like,
really cool.
yeah,
Yeah, I always try like to show every school I go to each school, like try to show each class some cool flips. So I jump over like 10 kids with a flip or something. Then everyone go, whoa, I want to start with parkour. So I had really a lot of kids who want to start with parkour after watching me in their schools. So they say,
and
how can I start parkour? How can I do that? I say, oh, you can do just parkour in the street, just jump from wall to another, and that's parkour. Try to contact with the parkour organizations in Stockholm or something, because there is a lot of organization who teach parkour at the moment in Stockholm. So I just try to introduce them to that organizations, so more kids start with parkour after
that's the thing is, I'm
me.
sure, like,
Mm.
I'm not sure, especially nowadays, there's not really a single kid out there that doesn't know what parkour is. Do you know what I mean? But there's a difference
Yeah,
between
yeah,
knowing what parkour is and actively seeing that level of just cool stuff in front of you. And I think that's what I think I like about what you're saying is just it sparks an interest that's deeper than just, oh, parkour is cool. It's like, I don't know what I just saw, but this guy just did this crazy thing and I want to go and do
yeah,
that. And if that's called
exactly,
parkour, then cool, but it's that I want to do. So I think, yeah,
exactly,
it sparks a deeper connection between them and parkour if they've actually been like, I saw this guy. It was in real life. It wasn't just on a
exactly. Yeah.
video.
It's good to inspire kids, and that's what we want. Like if we want to spread sport, it's always the kids who gonna keep it, Otherwise, parkour will disappear, and that's
And it
why I
started with
started.
kids. There's so many things that started with kids. I talk about this all the time
Exactly.
because it's a thing I'm on about. But like
Yeah,
skateboarding started with kids, hip hop started with kids, and I'm
it's
sure there's
important.
thousands
Yeah.
of more of things that started with street kids. I kind of want to send this to because you're also taught. You told me earlier. Something we can move on to is you're not just doing stuff within Stockholm. You're also you're running an organization to do with
Cold War.
called what?
War
Say it.
Runners.
War Runners. Could you give an
Runners.
explain?
War Runners is a non-profit organization.
Yeah, just Biko in the
We work
background.
with like building schools in that countries that have conflicts, and the place where we started was like Gaza. And the person who started that non-profit with me is a guy that who did a documentary about my story for Red Bull. He's a
Hmm.
filmmaker, and
In Gaza.
no, he's a French guy
Okay.
called Tom, and that guy he's a filmmaker, worked for Red Bull. He came to Sweden, filmed that documentary about me traveling from Gaza. How did I come here, and about like what I am at the moment, what am I doing in Sweden? And so he did like a documentary about like a 9 minutes documentary that got like more than 1,300,000 views in Red Bull
Wow.
TV. So it's really a good start from there. That he watched, he listened to my story in the same documentary, and he saw that I'm interested to build like a gym in Gaza. I said like in the documentary, I hope like someday I can make a gym for the kids in Gaza or something like
Yeah.
that.
Is that something that's
So
big for you? Can I ask just on a personal question? Is that
for
something?
me, it's really big because at the moment there's like the kids can learn parkour for free in Gaza. They have coaches. They have a place where they can train. They don't need to go to the cemetery. They don't know.
Yes, they don't need to go and train with the cemetery anymore. Oh, but do they really get the full experience of parkour in Gaza if you're not training in the cemetery? No, I'm kidding.
I mean, there is some guys still training in the cemetery because the gym is still far from them. Because
Yeah.
we have the gym in the city in the middle of Gaza, so it can be easier for anyone to reach there. And then yeah, so some people prefer to stay outside. Some people prefer to start in the gym because, especially for the new kids, all of them want to start in a gym because they want a safer place work with a coach or something. So that place for me is a big thing I have done, and especially like where I see more than 200 kids at the moment training at the gym. It's a small place actually. It's not so big, but there is material, there is boxes, there is bars, and there is mats, so they can train, they can learn how to jump, they can learn how to land. And I'm trying, like I made like a schedule for the kid, for the coaches there, what to teach and stuff like that, so they are able like to educate the kids in a good way, like so the kid can learn safely without hurting themselves, because kids need some fun stuff also. It's not the kids, when they start any sport, they want to have fun. It's not just about just doing
Yeah, I
trick.
think I think that's something that I've learned not like over time is like there's a difference from the kids who come to classes from the kids that we
Mm,
were on the street. Like we were
exactly.
kids, we
Yeah.
had a reason. We did parkour because we wanted to represent it or wanted to do this.
Yeah.
There was another side of things that we were trying to do as those kids. Whereas today with the kids that come to classes, they're not just they're there just to make friends sometimes. They're just to have fun.
Exactly.
And I forget that because I spend so much time being like, think about things. Do you know what I mean? Like it means
Yeah.
so much. And then I realized that if I'm talking to an 8-year-old, the average 8-year-old is like, I just want to run about. And I'm like, yes, I understand that. Do you know what I mean? I get that you just want to run about, but
Yeah.
it means you have no idea how much it means.
Exactly.
but
They are there to have fun. They are not there
yeah.
to train.
Which
So
is
you have to make it fun for them. Otherwise, they're gonna just run away from that course. And
yeah, there's a
yeah,
lot of
they
wisdom
don't
in that.
want,
Yeah.
and it's not that all of them come to the course to learn parkour. They come there to meet with their friends, as they said, and they come to enjoy the course. They just want to do some fun stuff. It's not about learning. They don't want someone to teach them something.
Yeah.
Some kids who want to learn, some kids who want to become good at what they want, at what they do. But
I mean, I
most
think
of the kids are.
for me personally, and this, I mean, we can just say this, but I think that that's kind of what I'm getting at in this idea of to try and understand what it is that we got from that learning environment. Like, as you say, we didn't have coaches, or like I did, but it was when I started training with them outside of the classes where I got a real understanding of who they were and how they trained.
Yeah.
But I think for me, that's the thing is, no, when you take parkour and put it into a class environment where there's a teacher and a student, it automatically makes a kind of like expectation of the kids. Do you know what I mean? They're not like that. Whereas I think that I'm still not sure how to do it in terms of like club or whatever, but there's definitely something in that about like, how do we create an environment where we allow the kids to have the full freedom, like just come out and hang out as we would when we went out with our friends.
Exactly.
But how do we trick them? Not trick them, but you know what I mean? How do we make it valuable for them that they actually want to come and have that experience, but then also learn along the way, rather than having this mentality of like coach and student kind of. That's what I struggle with personally, just in terms of trying to teach these kids, is like half the time they're fighting up against me sometimes. And I'm like, do you not want to be here? And they're like, no, I'm like, cool, you don't need to be. You can go off and play. And they're like, what? And I'm like, in this class, I want to go off and play as well. Do you know what I mean? I just can't just go off and play with you because also there's other people here. But like, you don't need to be here right now. And they're like, oh, okay. And they go off and play and I keep an eye on them. But it's this, sometimes they fight me because I'm a teacher or because they think that I'm a coach. And I'm like, I'm only here telling these people what to do because they are here and they want to learn how to do this jump right now.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I don't know, I think a lot about that kind of stuff, is how do you make a gym have all these different elements that when you come into the space, you can just sit there and enjoy it and be part of the culture. And then at one point, accidentally, you end up learning something. Because your friend is like, hey, come and try this. I think you can do this. And you're like, oh, okay then.
Exactly. Yeah. It's good to have that gym, even if the kids there to have fun and to meet with their friends. It's also like motivating some kids to learn something because their friends have learned something. Then they want to learn the same thing. Then it becomes like motivating for the kids themselves to do some new jumps or new tricks, which make parkour bigger and bigger, and which is cool. Yeah, as I said, it's like
you were
so,
saying, yeah, sorry, I was just thinking, you were talking about War Runners. So you're one thing, we were just talking about how sick parkour is, essentially what we're saying. But like, I think what are you doing to bring that to these people? So yeah, so what are you doing with these War Runner guys?
So at the moment we are like creating we're thinking about creating a new parkour academy in Kashmir and or in the countries that have more conflicts. So we thought about first Kashmir and Kenya, which like they have like a bit like situation where they don't have that budget to build a gym, or where the kids want to train parkour in a safe environment, or the coaches want to teach parkour in a safe environment, but they don't have the ability to build that gym. So we are trying to help that countries to make like parkour gyms. And we started with just Gaza at that time. We started 1 year ago to build a gym in Gaza, and we started that gym. We have like 200 kids.
Nice.
And at the moment, like we don't get any fees from the kids, so the kids come to the gym, they train for free. We pay the coaches. We have like, for example, there's supporters for parkour. So these supporters and our friends who pay money as a fund, we made like a fundraiser online. So the people who want to support parkour in Gaza can pay for can help the coaches to teach the kids for free, and in the same time we pay for the place where we rent. So we rent a place, we build the materials, like we built boxes, and we made like some obstacles by ourselves. We made the design for that obstacles, and then the gym is ready. And then like we started to pay the coaches, kids come for free. We made the groups for girls, and then we have like around more than 40 girls at the gym at the moment. Wow. So we have like we have people training at the gym, and yeah, at the moment we want just to keep the gym running in Gaza, which like
how is
keep
that going?
supporting the gym. And we are like making like a fundraiser again online, and then yeah, all of that is in our page called warrunners.org, and that's like there is a lot of info about what we are doing, and about what we want to create, like create more academies in the world for that countries that have conflicts. And that I personally, I don't get any money of that. I just do it voluntarily. I even like pay for myself to do that social media and stuff like that, the commercial, like marketing online and stuff like that for the academy. I put a lot of time into it, and I love doing it because I feel like I'm doing something for the kids in Gaza. In a moment, I
Yeah.
couldn't do that for myself when I was kid. No one could do that for me because no one could build a gym for me to train at or something. I couldn't train in a safe environment. I had to suffer with the, like learning to do flips, like landing on my head or yeah, falling or stuff like that. At the moment, the kids can have a coach where they can help them to do a trick or something. They have mats, they have a place, they are safe. So it makes me happy to see these
Yeah,
kids
man.
like
That's
enjoying what they do. And in the end, it feels like it's me who did it with my friend and the guys who coach parkour there also. It's like a big success for me, and I feel like proud of it in the same time.
yeah, man. You
What I
should
could
be
do.
straight up. Like I've been holding back my like genuinely for that's sick. Like to be able to like to set up an academy, especially in a place like obviously you
Like
that's
them.
your country, your home. Because I feel hella like I really like Scotland. Do you know what I mean? I really like where I come
Yeah,
from, and I also
exactly.
sympathize with this idea of like wanting to make something better for your people back home. Do you know what I mean? Because I've spent a lot of time.
Exactly.
I traveled a
Yeah.
bit when I was not younger. I took full advantage of the fact that I could travel when I was like 17. So I went to Australia, and then with that I went to Denmark, and I'm now in Germany. But it is this. I'm doing it because I want to try and take something back in a way. So
Exactly. Yeah.
I fully understand this idea of a wanting to give
Completely.
back, but for you to be able to do that, for the kids not to need to pay anything, for you to do that all kind of self-funded is amazing.
Exactly.
Like that's actually like 200 kids is a lot of people.
It's a lot of kids. Yeah.
That is that
It's cool.
and that is I want it. That's amazing. More people. I hope more people. I hope people.
There is more people. So what we are thinking now about is like making more hours so the coaches can work more, so we
Hmm.
can pay them more. And that's what we want to do is like getting more funds so we can keep the school running and pay the coaches for more hours so more kids can come at the moment because the place can is not enough for more than 15 kids at the course, and it cannot be more than 20 kids at the course with like one coach. It will be like a catastrophe. So
Yeah,
much
yeah.
kids with one coach, it will be like so noisy and it will be hard to organize. So with 15 kids in each group is enough, and then just like opening more hours for more coaches or with just the same coaches with more hours, then it's like yeah, it's about like more payment for the coaches and it's about more funds for from the people who want to keep the school running. And yeah, the moment we are keeping it running, and we got like a 4,000 something, 4,600 euros support from people, and it's growing actually. It's like people are supporting it, and I'm trying to share that link for the influencers and people who like what we do, and trying to share for parkour athletes who's interested about what we are doing for parkour and about parkour academy. So I talked to Toby Seeger from Storer, and yeah, we asked him if he want to be like interested to join the board with us, like to be advisor for us, so he can help us to like get more information for the kids about how the safety for the kids and how to grow this war runners for bigger organization to keep it running always, and trying to get shout outs from organization or parkour teams. So I have sent to Chase Armitage and some big athletes, and who answered they are interested about what we are doing and they want to share in their social media about what we do, to share this fundraiser and their pages to keep to make this happen about war runners in Kashmir and keep the school in Gaza in the same time.
Yeah, no, that's honestly that project. Because as I said earlier, like there's Christian Sick and Lucas Rose. These are two guys from
Yeah, I
Germany
know
who are,
Lucas.
yeah, yeah. So like those are the guys I was telling you earlier about who are looking at similar, like looking at how to use parkour as a tool to go into these countries. But at the same time, like from the perspective of yourself to be able to, like, I think that within the parkour community, or not just parkour, but grassroots communities that share this kind of like you and your mates vibe.
Mm.
It's all like in a way, it's all about getting you and your mates paid. Do you know what I mean? If you can, like, as much as like you want to go out there, if you, for me at least, as well as like, I just hear this, if you and your mates are getting paid, then it's a success. And for you to tell me that you've managed to get the people back home, they're being paid, man, that's amazing. Do you know what I mean? Like, that is a genuine, like,
It
you should
is
be real
amazing,
proud
yeah.
of that. And I think that after this, I'll definitely share the War Runners stuff a little bit more, and I'll have a bit more of a look into that, because
I'll send you the link so you can
yeah,
watch
yeah,
it.
in that
Yeah.
little send it to Facebook. But man, that's amazing. Like, genuinely, that's. I think
Okay.
you've
Thanks a
done.
lot, bro.
We talk about this. I know that especially there's people who talk about using parkour as a tool and things like that. And obviously, we recognize the ability to the benefit that parkour has on people. But to set something like that up is, yeah, mad respect.
Thanks a
If I
lot.
had 1,000 people,
Thanks a
I'd get
lot.
them to clap, because that's fucking, it's amazing. Genuinely, well done. I'm gonna
Thanks,
come
bro.
for you for, at some point. I might come for you for advice to how to get stuff set up in your home country. I might do that. But man, yeah, genuinely, that's
Thanks a
sick. So
lot,
everyone,
bro.
I forget actually that there's people watching this. People at home, hello,
I
people.
forgot that too. I don't know who's watching even. So I will go to Facebook and watch the event page and see who's watching that live video at the
I'm not
moment.
gonna lie, I'm looking at the comments. There's quite a lot of
Oh, there is
comments.
comments. How do we
Yeah.
see it?
I don't know if you go on our Dihala Facebook page,
Ah, it feels like
and
I
check
can
out,
see.
there should be like a live event or something, but you've got quite a few comments.
Lovers.
Unfortunately, I think it's in is it Arabic? Oh, what
I
language?
feel like I don't know. I will share that live video and
Yeah.
maybe
But
it's right. Yeah.
But yeah, man, you've got some comments, so you will be able to look at this after the event as well. Like, it's not just there; you can watch afterwards. But man, yeah, War Runners sounds like a really interesting thing, and I really want I would like to see parkour going in more that direction. Not necessarily all of parkour, not everyone, but just kind of talking about how we can use it for the betterment of the world around us, as cliche as that sounds. But the idea of starting from home as well, like, look at what's around you, what
Yeah.
can you do for your people? So yeah, man, that's it. Yeah, I'm in awe a little bit
Thanks a
by
lot.
it. I've kind of, if I'm honest, I've been trying to be organized. So as I said, I started when I interviewed Danny last week. I wrote down a whole bunch of things because I'm trying to be,
Okay.
because otherwise I would go in so many tangents. Otherwise we'll spend
Yeah.
about an hour and a half talking about, like, yeah, just how sick parkour gyms are in Sweden.
We're never gonna finish.
Well, no, I had a chat with Ed Scott. The chat with Ed Scott went on for 2 hours just because I was like, yeah, we're gonna end now, but hey, what about this thing? But
We have been for 1.5 hours.
yeah,
Anyway.
we're hitting the 1.5 hour mark. So it's usually at this point I say we should finish up, so we at least have half an hour left, because it takes me half an hour to end up
Okay. Whoa.
in these chats. No, we'll try and bring it
Yeah,
to a
but
thing.
take your time anyway. I'm home. So.
But like, yeah, man, that's so at the moment you're doing what else? Like, just kind of as a final point, what? Oh, hello.
Someone is.
It's okay.
Second.
We've got time. We've got time, man. Yeah, I don't know. While he's away, I genuinely, like, on a personal note, that story, the War Runner stuff, is something that.
Info.
Oh, there's people.
It was someone who. Sorry, it was someone who blanked the wrong door. So.
Oh, they have no
It's so
idea
weird.
that their voice is now on an
And the
interview.
live video.
Yeah, just like, oh. So what do you have planned for the future, man? Like, in terms of, like, you're doing War Runners obviously as part of a thing, but just as a kind of end thing, what do you have planned for the near-ish future? Obviously, like, there's Corona and stuff going on, but like, what are you looking
So for me at the moment, so I'm focusing on that War Runners thing. I want it to be something bigger and bigger. And besides that, I want to go to visit Gaza again someday, which is like a bit scary. But I miss my family. Imagine, like, I have not seen them for more than 4 years now.
Yeah.
And I have friends there. So I want just to be able to travel again. And, Corona is stopping all of that.
Mm-hmm.
And also the situation in Gaza is also stopping that, because I cannot go and travel from there easily. I need so much time to travel from Gaza. If I get inside, it take me for 1 week. It's okay. So I need to go to Egypt, and from Egypt I can enter Gaza. But to get outside of Gaza, it's like I need to like wait for months,
Really?
at least a year. If I have, even if I have like a Swedish passport or something,
What? Why?
I still, because it's like you need to wait to wait your turn. Imagine like 30,000 person want to travel in 3 days from a place where you cannot get more than 100 person in the day. So Egyptian people don't let more than 100 person a day from their borders from Gaza. So from Gaza, each day they open the borders is just 100 persons.
Wow.
And
Wow.
so 300 persons travel in that 3 days from 30,000 persons. The
Yeah,
other,
okay.
so 30,000 people just wait in Gaza to, and then more people want to travel. More people have visas, for example. More people have relatives. More people are having nationalities that they can go. They want to go back to their countries. So you have to be stuck until you get your turn in the queue. So there is a queue for people who want to travel. So you wait your name to come. So they call you. They say, "Oh, your turn to travel today. Your
Yeah.
turn to travel tomorrow." I mean, for example. So it's like that, which is a bit scary. Sometimes it works like you have to pay them like 3,000 euros to be able to travel in the same day. So you tell them, I pay you this money so I can get out of there,
So
which I
even
don't
if,
want to do. Why will I pay 3,000 euros to travel in that time? Like,
yeah, so what you're saying, just to kind of like round it up, in order for you, even with a Swedish passport, in order for you to get in and out of Gaza, it will be a year for you to go there and then wait your turn to get back out again.
exactly. Then I lose my job. I lose my place where I live.
Yeah,
What
everything's,
will I have?
oh
Everything I built here will be lost. I will
man,
lose
that
everything.
is
So
that
it's
is
like,
I don't
yeah, I
think
mean, I
here's,
am free. I am free, but not free to visit my family. But I was talking to my mom and I told her maybe I'll meet you in Egypt or something like that. So if she want to come to Egypt someday, maybe we meet there or something.
but man, I don't necessarily think this is like the time and place to go into that, but I like,
Yeah,
as I said to you, like the situation in Gaza and in Palestine in general is something that I think if people took a little bit of time to look into it, it
yeah,
doesn't it
people.
doesn't it doesn't take too
Exactly.
much. It doesn't take too much
Dissidents.
to see it. But I think that by having conversations like this, hopefully people who are watching this will at least take a moment to have a look at PK Gaza, look at the War Runner stuff that they're like yourself,
Picky
Ahmad's
Gaza.
doing. But yeah, man, PK, like honestly, Bata wears his t-shirt all the time. He wears it all the
Oh,
time. Yeah,
really?
yeah, he loves that t-shirt, man, and
Oh,
I'm
thanks to
I'm
him.
so jealous of him because yeah, man, something like what you were doing there, that is yeah, for me it's just
Someday
a
you own me a t-shirt, so I will get a t-shirt for you. I'm
yeah.
trying to
Oh,
build the
mate,
PK
I'll happily
Gaza
pay for one
merch.
straight up. Like send
Oh
me where to
man.
send the money. I'll do it because I think it's a really interesting thing, and I think that um oh, I've semi lost my thought. This happens a lot.
You were talking about watch Gaza parkour or something like that. Watch PK Gaza. You
Yeah,
talk to the
yeah. Just
people.
just just look at the people. Look at the thing. I know that Stora did a whole a documentary about it as well. But like, I feel like there's maybe in the future there's another time and another talk that we can have to talk more openly about that because I think that that in itself is a very interesting situation, and it's not great. So I taught it's mental. Like I just on a like yeah, I've been away from my home for just like a year, and just because of Corona and also think, and it's just to
Yeah,
think that because as yeah, just there's so many people in the world as well that have that similar situation. We are so lucky, or I am really lucky to appreciate that that's my yeah that hasn't happened in at the moment
exactly. I
in
mean,
Scotland. So I think that part yeah man, it's not necessarily that that's part of you, but whatever. Do you know what I mean? I still think that what you've done with it
mm-mm.
and just mad respect for it. And I think, as I said, the
Thanks a
more
lot,
people look
bro.
into it, the more we realize what's going on there. Do you know what I mean? So I'm just yeah, sick. I'm just ranting about yeah, man. I so as I said, like the whole story Gaza thing gets me riled. Do you know what I mean?
Gaza
So
thing is a bit, yeah, I
I
know.
get
It's
pure
like,
like wow. So I'll leave it at that. But man, I'm gonna finish it off if that's all right. Just because I'm getting to that stage where I feel like I'll lose track of time and we will end up talking for another hour.
yeah,
But
yeah.
Thank you so much for taking your time. There's one last thing that I want to write is Ahmad took time off work today. He works on Tuesdays and he took time off work to talk to me. So I feel personally hella honored that you did that. And I really,
I'll appreciate it too.
this
Thanks.
chat means a lot. And I've learned so much, as I said, like I knew of you a little bit. I knew a little bit of PK Gaza, but I've actually learned so much about what's going on there. And I was not disappointed in a way. Do you know what I mean? You're doing so much more. You're doing so much, more than I could imagine. And you're already hitting. I have this mentality of like being aware of how, like when you've hit your dreams in a way, like being aware. And it sounds like you've absolutely smashed through what you thought was possible, and now you're going that and bringing that kind of mentality to other people. And I think that's an amazing thing. Makes me vibrate. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah, I mean, dreams is not impossible, and everything is possible for me. So I try to make everything happens, and it's just about like time. Even if it's something that didn't happen from first time, if a dream that took me a time, in the end it will happen. So that's what I always thought about. It's like even some friends who still stuck in Gaza who cannot join competitions or jams and still in Gaza, they're still trying to join competitions or jams. They still apply for new visas and that. So for me, it was about time to travel from Gaza to be in Sweden at the place where I am at the moment. I'm happy at where I am. I'm happy about what I'm doing and about what I'm still planning. It's just every dream needs time and you need to work on it. It's like that.
yeah, man, no, I fully agree with that. And time is a hard thing to know, because when you're young and you want something to do it, you want to make it now. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. I want everything to happen at the same time. Like I want everything now. But no, man, everything needs time. Yeah.
Everything takes time, and yeah, man, I think that's a pretty good way to end it. Like I really appreciate, the stories, what you're saying, and also your passion for people. Do you know what I mean? Like going out there and spreading what it is that you do in your message. Do you know what I mean? In the sense of connecting with people is one that I personally connect with, but I think it's one that I definitely encourage is don't just connect with the people that you're talking with. And yeah, as I said, these chats were all about trying to connect with people, and I think I definitely took a lot from that, and I hope that other people can, or just start being interested in it as well, and yourself and what you're doing, because it's sick. I think that's it. I can't really think of anything else to say. I mean, I can think of lots of things today, but we don't have enough time. Is there anything that you want to say as like an end round, like just, I don't know.
I mean, let's tell the people, follow your dream. You will get it someday. That's what I can say. I mean, for me, being in Sweden was a dream. And for me, I made it. And it was like a dream because I couldn't travel. I couldn't meet with parkour athletes. And in the end, I could meet with them. I could do what I want. I'm coaching parkour. I'm working with what I love. And I'm doing what I love. I'm trying to build parkour gyms for people who don't have the ability to build parkour gyms. And it's something I really want to do and make me feel happy. And at the same time, it's a dream and I'm enjoying doing it.
Yeah, man.
So I hope everyone will have their own dream.
Yeah, it's sick, man. It's amazing. And I just connect with it because, I remember being 14, 15, being like, I want to be a parkour coach someday. And like, I think that was the pinnacle. That was it. I also had these like outside dreams of like living in another country maybe, or whatever. And then you're totally right. As long as you just focus on a dream, but then focus on what you're doing now. Do you know what I mean? It will come. Just work on what you're doing every day. And at one point, stay focused on that. But remember, every day is a build up to that. So I fully agree with it. Anyway, dude, thank you so much for your time. I will end this now.
Thanks to you too.
And yeah, man, I hope to stay in touch. I will definitely stay more in touch, and I will do what I can with the War Runners thing. And yeah, man, I think I will definitely be in contact with you for another chat at some point. That would be great.
We'll do it anytime, bro. And I hope I see you soon at Gravity or Dihale.
Yeah, I need to be fair, I need to come to Sweden. I've never really been to Sweden.
I'll come to Sweden too. It's my place is open for you.
Nice. Well, thanks so much, Ahmad. I'm gonna press the end button on this call, which hopefully should end things. But yeah, man, again, thank you so much for your time and your words and everything, and keep up just being you, really. I guess you're doing a good job.
Thanks a lot, bro. Same to you. Enjoy. Have a nice evening.
You too, man.
Okay,
Thanks very
have a
much,
nice
peeps.
evening.
See you later.
See you.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, wrong button. This one. Bye.